I'm Alicia, and I'm here to present my training plan to you. Our company's goal is to be zero waste. There is so much information out there about what zero waste is and how it can be achieved. For those of you that don't know, zero waste is a philosophy that takes reduce, reuse, and recycle to a whole new level. Zero waste focuses on finding new uses for materials that used to be considered waste in order to completely eliminate waste rather than manage it via landfill. Manufacturing, packaging, standard use, and even marketing practices are examined to determine what steps can be taken to improve efficiency, save money, reduce water, prevent creation of pollution and emissions, conserve energy, and minimize or halt the use of virgin materials. Sounds like quite a lot, huh? The core of the issue is really to only use what you need and reuse what you can. When it comes to getting rid of something, recycling should be the first step and trash disposal should be the last. There are a variety of organizations that will pay for items you probably didn't even consider were recyclable. I encourage you to check some of these companies out in order to further reduce your environmental impact. Instead of jumping into the deep zone of zero waste, the training towards becoming zero waste has been broken up into smaller segments for easier understanding. Today we'll be going over what is considered recyclable in the office and home environments, and what it can be turned into, what is not recyclable, and the benefits associated with recycling. Ready? Well, let's get started. Welcome to recycling training. We will begin with an overview. Recycling is the process of collecting and processing materials that would otherwise be thrown away and turning them into new products for consumers. The most effective way to reduce waste is to not create it in the first place. This can be very difficult for consumers, and that is part of the reason why we are having this training session, as our company would love to go zero waste, but considers the beginning with a recycling program to be the most efficient use of our training money. Reduction and reuse are the most effective ways to protect the environment, save money, and natural resources. The creation of new products comes from the materials being extracted from the earth, the product being fabricated and transported to the selling point, and all of these things increase costs and deplete natural resources. We are trying to counteract that with this training program. So, I bet you're asking yourself, why should you care about recycling? First of all, it fights climate change. For every 1 ton of mixed paper that's recycled, about 4.3 tons of carbon dioxide are avoided. It saves the forests because recycling 1 ton of paper saves about 24 trees and 7,000 gallons of water. Now, I know 24 trees doesn't seem like a lot, but with the rate of deforestation that is happening in the world, 24 trees is kind of a big deal. It also provides clean air and water because recycling metals reduces air pollution by 85% and water pollution by 75%. It also saves energy because you can watch more than 2.5 hours of television with the energy saved from recycling just 1 aluminum can. It also helps the economy because recycling creates 6 times as many jobs as landfilling. I know that might not seem important to all of you who are employed by this company, but it is excellent for our economy because jobs in recycling centers are available for any person at any skill class and any social class. Anyone can do those kinds of jobs, and it is important for our economy for everyone to be employed. This is an infographic about how recycling waste materials affects the new products and whatnot. Recycling 15 glass bottles saves enough energy to power a laptop for 31 1/3 hours or run the air conditioning for 1 hour. You can obviously see the difference there. Recycled paper production creates 74% less air pollution and 35% less water pollution than making fresh paper out of tree pulp. 20 recycled cans can be made with the energy needed to produce 1 new can. Every pound of recycled plastic that is used reduces the energy use in plastic production by 84% and greenhouse gas emissions by 71%. You can help in stores by shopping for products made with recycled materials or buying items with less packaging, bringing your own bags, and buying only what you need. At home, you can help by asking to be removed from paper mailing lists. Don't throw away anything that can be reused or repaired, and donating unwanted electronics. It's important to print on both sides of recycled paper and to use recycled paper both at home and at work. It's also important to compost food scraps and yard waste. We're not getting into composting today because that is a whole nother area. Okay, so now I bet you're asking yourself, what should I recycle? To begin with, paper. You should recycle white paper, colored office paper, envelopes, both with and without the little plastic windows, file folders of all colors, magazines, catalogs, brochures, and any unwanted junk mail, newspaper, phone books, paper bags, but you gotta cut the handles off of those, post-it notes on documents, paper clips and staples are okay to be recycled with the paper. Glass is a little less, whereas you can only recycle food and drink containers. Now I have some information about paper and glass recycling and how it actually benefits the environment to recycle them. Paper makes up nearly 30% of municipal solid waste generated each year, more than any other material. A typical American will use 7 trees a year for paper. That's approximately 2 billion trees a year. Each ton of recycled paper can save 17 trees, 38 gallons of oil, 3 cubic yards of landfill space, 4,000 kilowatts of energy, and 7,000 gallons of water. It costs 50 to 80% less to use recycled paper than it does to make paper out of new pulp. Glass, especially food and beverage containers, because those are the only type that can be recycled over and over and over again, as it has a 100% recycling rate. Americans generated 11.5 million tons of glass in 2016, and about 26% of that was recovered for recycling. Over a ton of natural resources are saved for every ton of glass recycled. For every 6 tons of recycled glass used in the process of manufacturing new glass, carbon dioxide outgas is reduced by 1 ton. Then again, lowering greenhouse emissions by recycling. Next, we have plastics 1, 2, and 5. This includes water and juice bottles, milk jugs, rigid tubs and lids like margarine, clamshell containers without any food waste, plant containers that you buy at the store when you're preparing your garden, medicine bottles, and then plastic bags can be recycled at most grocery stores like Hy-Vee, Walmart, Target, and I believe Safeway. If you're curious about the numbers 1, 2, and 5, there's a little triangle symbol on the bottom of all plastics, and inside that triangle symbol is a number. In our area, only 1, 2s, and 5s are accepted, but in many other places, the 3s, 4s, 6s, and 7s are accepted. Next, we have metal.